So, Olive, where do you want to go? Because you guys can split up if you want. It doesn't have to be like a partner thing. Or you can stick together. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do. Again, do you need me to read the stores off again?
I'm trying to think of...
So you have a liquor store, a hardware store, a gas station, a clothing store, an electronics store, and a grocery store.
I'm going to electronics. Do we have any clothes on right now? Or is it just robotic body?
So again, you also have skin parts too. Remember that. Like, you're...
Is my giant schlong hanging out?
Yes. It's also why you're very, like, awkward looking. Like I said, like, I'm gonna say that you maybe have, like, some sort of, like, random sack thrown over you, but, like, imagine that, like, you have, like, one hand, right, and you can see all, like, the mechanical joints, and as it goes up, you now have an elbow and a muscle.
Like skin.
Yeah,
okay.
Actual skin, and then, like, it goes down, and you might have, like, a half of an ass, and, like, the other part's just kind of square and clunky.
If you get done before we're done, and you have clear, like, if you're clear, just hide inside, but if you need to, take the military uniform off those dudes. Wear that.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm gonna hurry up and go over...
Most military uniforms are waterproof.
Let's go...
Theirs are not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to electronics.
Electronics? Where do you want to go?
Okay, so, like,
I'll let my dong hang out.
the way Cody can, like, fix his eye,
Yeah.
is there a way for me to, like, create an emergency battery that, like, if I do get power down, they could plug me into? Not something that's,
Possibly.
like, permanent, but, like...
Possibly.
That's why I thought about getting a power bank
it would-
from the hardware
it
store.
would maybe-
and then
some
you
sort
can
of
charge
battery
it
or
and
something.
then take it with you.
It would last a little bit. It would be heavy, and it would be something you'd have to carry. I will say that. Imagine you're... Again,
I'm
you
thinking, like,
you
a car
were...
battery. Like,
Yes,
I have to
that's
lug
what I'm
around a
saying,
car
right?
battery.
It's heavy as
That's
shit,
what I'm saying.
so-
Like, you are a dying breed of technology, so we can't, like, create anything that you're just going to put in your pocket. Like, if we do
That's what I
that,
figured.
you're carrying say, a 50-pound battery in your hands, and you're lugging it wherever you're going if you're doing that. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I'm saying, like, you're going to have... It's not
gonna
going
be inconvenient.
It's going to be
Yeah.
inconvenient, and it's not going to be, oh, I fixed myself.
No, I was just thinking, if I go and get some sort of car battery, whatever the fuck it is, get it all set up, we could then hide that somewhere in the tunnels. And then if like anything were to ever happen and we're in the tunnels, you guys could plug me in at least
Please
as like
leave
an
you a cache somewhere.
emergency. You know what I mean? As an emergency sort of thing. If we're being chased or something, we get run into the tunnels. I'm thinking like
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now what I think should happen.
that way we don't have to carry it around, but also
I think if you're gonna have exposed wires everywhere, I don't think a rain jacket is going to necessarily help.
I will. It would help a little bit. I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie.
it's just like the battery.
Yeah.
It'll help, but it's not fixing
Yeah,
her.
it will be a help, but it will not be like a permanent solution.
Rain jacket, see if you can get basic clothes for us. Hardware store, things to use as weapons. Whatever. And then electronics, I'm gonna run
Batteries, see if
and see. Yeah, I'll see what
Whatever.
basically I'll just see what's at the electronics
Okay.
and then
Okay.
go from there.
So
All right,
clothing,
so-
hardware, electronics.
So I'm gonna start with you, Nissa. As you walk into the clothing store, you're greeted by a lovely middle-aged woman, and she goes, "Oh, aren't you a delightful-looking thing? What can I help you with?" She's kind of like just looking over top of you. You literally look like the melted version of a Terminator.
Yeah.
So-
I'm just gonna go.
And she
Please?
goes, "Oh, sweetheart. Sure. What? You're a girl, right?"
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
But
okay.
just something simple.
Simple.
Pants, shirt.
So no, you don't want to like
covering.
you don't want to dress or anything. And she's
No,
kind of like
no.
thumbing through some of like her like nicer options.
I need something practical.
Okay.
Useful.
Sure.
Maybe
Okay.
a rain jacket if you have it too.
I'm not gonna. I don't want this to come across as rude, but I don't have a whole lot of money for like, oxygen and charity cases. So you do have money, right?
I have some. Yeah.
Okay. So She goes, let me look. She goes, I have a pair of pants, a t-shirt, some boots. Is there something you're looking for in particular?
Simple, athletic clothing, maybe.
Okay.
Pants, t-shirt.
Lacy thong, just the basics.
Absolute
necessities.
So she pulls you out like a few like basic items, and are you still looking for like a rain jacket here, or like a
Yeah,
like a windbreaker?
As you can see, this exposed stuff, it's not fixed yet, obviously. So Master sent me to get something to cover
She goes,
up
of
until
course,
then.
sweetheart. Everybody needs a few upgrades now and then. And she kind of like points to like her crow's feet and like her withering face. And she goes, here. And she goes, this is really the only thing we have like as far as like a rain jacket. And she pulls out like the typical like bright yellow like rubber rain jacket.
That'll do.
Only if you got the matching goulashes, bitch.
And she goes, of course I do. And she pulls the boots out as well. And she goes, is this something that could be helpful? I am not sure.
If they fit, it's usable.
It's like they were made for you. It was
Yeah.
it's like the princess, like the you put it on.
the crystal slipper.
Yeah, like
There
the
you go.
crystal slipper, except it's a rubber goulash.
You all of a sudden have skin.
Yeah, right.
don't
Exactly.
Go chasing any paper boats to a sewer.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be.
You'll get your
George.
arm
Going
bit
to a
off.
sewer, guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. Pretty
Essentially.
much. Yeah. Essentially.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Don't meet any giant spiders.
It's okay, you're fine because you feel no fear.
Right. And she goes, okay, is there anything else? Do you need just an outfit for you or like anything else? She's like, I also have like, she goes like, I have like these returns, but they're damaged a little bit. I don't know if it's
I'll
something
check
you'd
them
be
out.
interested.
What do you got? Yeah.
Basically, it's just like a couple black hoodies and like just some like random, pairs like just random clothing.
Are you a large robot? Like beefy, like your character?
He has a
was?
large
Wow.
dick.
Well, okay, so
he
I
needs
feel
a large set of pants.
I feel like most SAM units would be built the same way. So if I'm not my
Like
former,
average build.
if I'm not
Yeah.
my former body, it's probably just like a general,
Yeah,
probably
maybe
like
a little bit broader
XL
shoulders.
T-shirt, regular pants,
Yeah.
like whatever.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I kind of describe
Like-
his form and her form
Okay.
and say they are also refurbished CM units. I'm looking for clothes for them if you have them.
Okay.
Just
She goes.
anything that will fit.
She goes.
Doesn't
Yeah.
need to be fancy.
And then she kind of like goes in for a little bit and she goes, refurbished SAM units? I thought do we do that now? Who authorized that? She's kind of questioning you.
Garbage disposal.
Garbage disposal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We just eat it. We just eat the trash.
You see that she becomes a little bit nervous. And behind her, you can see a camera that's like mounted in the corner of her shop, and you can see it moving. And every time that you like take a step back or forward, it's following you. And you can see, and she goes, "Oh, sure. Will your master be in soon, so that I could maybe speak with him?
I'm running an errand for my master.
What's his name?"
I don't know. He never gave it to me.
She goes, "Oh," and she straightens up for a moment. And she goes, "Of course." So silly of me. And she comes back with a box with the clothes in it, and she goes, that'll be like 2 credits."
I'll give her 3.
She goes, "Oh, thank you. Keep it." And she slides back the extra credit, and she goes, "Have a nice day." And you see her like walk behind her counter, and she kind of goes like this, and she's like very like nervously going, "Have a nice day."
Question.
Yeah.
If I get water on my wires,
Yeah.
is it only the large explosion, or do I do small ones?
No, we'll literally.
Okay. Thought it could be like an EMP or something. Like,
Nope. Basically, everybody in a 50-foot range has to do an agility check, and if they fail it, they instantly take 4 points of damage from the explosion, which kills most things in this game, including all of you.
Now, does that kill her?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
It just takes her a while to
It
come
just
back
it
to.
takes her a while. It takes her, yeah, exactly. A while
like a
to
seizure.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, so she's basically shut down for a little while. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds good.
That's what I've been thinking it as, is like a seizure. She has her seizure, and then sometimes
Yeah.
she comes right to, sometimes it takes a while.
Yeah, she's kind of like a walking time bomb if she gets wet. So you take your box of clothes, and to not draw suspicion, you walk back out on the street. Can you please make me another education check?
It's so good. Krakatoa!
9.
A 9? At this point, when you walk out, you hear the radio much louder this time, and as you look up, you can see on multiple buildings that there are armed military men or armed officials. Some of them have like a long-range rifle looking through scopes. Some of them are just looking through, binoculars. But you can definitely tell that there is now a much larger military presence than before. You're not 100% sure if they're directly looking at you, but it's definitely putting a weird feeling in the pit of your gut. So let's get to Olive. So you were where?
Hardware.
The hardware store. As you open up the door, the bell goes off. So the next thing that you know, a kind of like picture like a lumberjack, a very large old lumberjack. A man walks up to the counter and goes, "Hey, sweetheart, what can I help you with?" And he slams his hand down on the counter. Gruff voice. He has like a big white beard. He's completely balding. Has like the suspenders snapped to his chest. He's like, "You doing some lawn care? You need a shovel. You need and he's like, you need a hammer. You need, what can I do you for?"
With our air being so polluted, is there really any lawns to take care of? Or is the greenery really only in the dome protected place?
Well, that's a good point. The thing is that like a lot of the grass in like people's yards that you see that's like green and stuff, it's all plastic. Because
It's all turf.
It's all like turf. So basically, you can tell that these items have been sitting on the shelf for a very, very long time. But like I said, since he does have some business, because obviously people come in to buy things for the domes. You know what I mean? There are like government families that live in the domes. You know what I mean? So there is still kids and other things running around in there.
I'm a beat up, fucked up robot. I'm not gonna be some high up military's drone. So if I say I'm here for lawn care shit, is that instantly raising suspicions because there's no fucking lawns anymore?
I will let you know that this guy personally seems like a man that you can trust, and seems to be somebody who is very against the government, just by his demeanor and like, his outlook.
He is the average Punxsutawney dweller.
Right.
Just low key under my breath, be like, "Eat the rich."
And he just
the government. My master sent me to get lawn care items, anything like axes, hedge trimmers, a gun. Anything for those really unruly weeds and, pests that seem to weasel their way into the house.
He goes, "Sweetheart, give me a moment." He turns around and he reaches underneath the counter, and in this moment your heart starts to sink for a second. And I need you to roll me a pressure check.
The government.
Because this moment is something you're kind of like revealing who you are, and you
Pressure check is over 7, right?
it's whatever.
Over a 10.
It's over a 10.
Oh, it's
and
over
she
a 10.
Adds this. So 6 plus what? Plus the 7? Okay, so you get 1 pressure. And so the man reaches underneath the counter, your heart sinks for a moment, and the next thing you know, he pulls his arm out behind the counter really quick and goes to adjust it towards your face. He points, and you duck. And at that moment, he goes, "Shh, shh," and he blacks out the camera with a can of spray paint. And he goes, "Now we can talk." He goes, what did you need again?
Guns.
He goes, I don't have a whole lot of those around here, but he
Anything
said,
useful
he
for
goes,
those pests.
I mean, I got axes. I can give you one of those. I got a hammer. I can give you one of those too. And he goes, not to be suspicious, throw in a shovel.
Sounds like a deal.
And he goes, all right. He loads it all up on the counter and pushes it towards you.
Any chance you have a backpack?
Nothing that's gonna fit these, but
That's fine. Just a backpack.
I got like a sack around here, sure. And he throws like an old. What it actually is when he throws it up on the counter, it's an old military bag, and you can tell that he used to be a vet, but for a much different type of country. You know, before the world was combined. And just before you go to ask for payment, he goes, just take it. This one's on me. And he just slides it across the counter.
Fuck yeah.
So you got a shovel.
Kiss him on the mouth.
So you got a shovel, an axe, and what was the other thing?
A hammer.
And a hammer. Each one of those will be classified as a cudgel or rod, so they each do 2 damage. So is that all you're looking for?
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be much else that I can get in here.
So as you go to walk out, the old man goes, "Take care of yourself, all right? And tell Morgan I said hi." And he goes, "Oh, I also like your get-up too." He goes, "Morgan was always pretty good with those electronics." He's pointing to the solar panel on your back. So you walk out onto the street, and as soon as you do, give me a education check. 5. You hear
+4, but I only roll
you
1.
hear an array of static, and the next thing you hear a shot take off, and right beside your foot, you see gravel and dirt kick up. And we'll go to Cody's character, which is Sally, right?
Yeah.
Sally, where are we walking to?
Electronics.
Electronics. You walk into the electronics store, and you're met by a very tall, slender man with blonde hair, no facial hair at all. His hair's kind of slicked back. He has larger glasses on. And as soon as you come in the store, he takes his mask off, and he goes, "Hello, it's good to see a fellow customer." And he puts the mask back on and takes a breath in, and he goes, "Sorry, I always like to greet my customers the way that people intended, without these things attached to our faces." He goes, "What can I help you with?"
An anti-masker.
Just here to browse and see what you have.
He looks at you, and as bold as can be, he goes, "For yourself?" And he's kind of like looking over, and he's just like disgusted with your out-of-date technology, because this man is nothing but, like this man is like everything about
I'm going to
technology.
match his energy, and I'm going to basically say, obviously.
And he goes, "Well, my good sir, what are you in the need for?" And he goes, "Trust me, and don't worry about any cameras in here. They're all linked to my own private servers. I don't deal with the government and all their high-end bullshit."
Basically, for myself, I mean, I could use an eye. I could use... What else? What other parts?
So as of right now, the way that you're looking, as of right now, the only thing that you can basically tell is that your eye's missing.
Okay.
And he kind of points and he goes, I guess that would be a good start, wouldn't it? And he goes, "I have an old Ring camera that might be interesting." And he's kind of like, he pulls out like a big cargo crate of like just random like shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, let's brainstorm a little. What do you think might help?" He goes like he has like a camera. He also has like an old military scope that can see like body temperatures. he has, as he's looking through, he also has like, basically it's something, but it would just kind of work as like a flashlight. He's like, so what do you think? What's something that you might think might be helpful, and see if we can piece it together.
The thermal.
The thermal? He goes, it's a great piece of old technology, quite just like yourself. And he pulls out, it's kind of clunky and long, and he goes, I don't know how short I can get it, so you might look slightly ridiculous. And he kind of does a small chuckle to himself.
I'll say, don't I already?
He goes, I like you, good sir. And he pulls it out, and he goes, well, with this, you might be able to see quite a long distance. And along with it, too, is for us fleshier folks, you can definitely, you could definitely be able to tell where they're at. I mean, we all produce some sort of heat, don't we?
Yes, definitely. I feel. I don't know what to say.
Indubitably.
Yes, good sir.
Indubitably.
He goes,
Again, still is suspicious.
yeah. He goes, perfect. And the next thing you know, he's behind the thing. He like all of a sudden his whole demeanor changes, right? He goes from being like this high-end professional person who's basically like selling like Apple products to like a mad backyard scientist, right? He dims the lights, he flips over like a welding hood over his face. He begins to pull out a torch and he begins to cutting things in half. You hear drills going off and he goes, why don't you have a seat on my table, good sir, and I'll have you fixed up in just a jiff.
I'll sit.
As you lay down, you just like, for a moment, you kind of actually feel things being like ground into the side of your head. You hear like these like almost like he's like screwing like a large pillar into your face. And then he goes, this might, well, I don't know, it might hurt a little bit, I'm not quite sure. And he grabs a few wires and he starts plugging them in together. You hear sparks going off. You actually kind of feel like a small jolt throughout your body, which is slightly strange. And he goes, all right, are you ready for the reveal? And he kind of pulls back this curtain and he like does a small tap on the side of your face. All of a sudden you hear boop, zzz, and like it kind of focuses in. You now have vision in both eyes. The one eye can focus in on long distances. And then he goes, all right, and here's my favorite part. And he shuts all the lights off. And he goes, try and find me. And right before he does, he goes, all right, now click the button on your left cheek.
Click.
As you do that, the whole room goes bright red, and all of a sudden you see him just like lounging back in one of his chairs.
He's nude.
And he's just smoking a cigarette. And he goes, you can see me, can't you?
Well, I'll sit there and I'll
It's also X-ray vision. He also has a massive dick.
I'll ask him. So what brand do you like?
And he goes, I'll tell you one thing. It's not Apple. And
All
he
right.
goes, all right, good sir, that'll be, my work doesn't come cheap. 4 credits, please.
How many do I don't know how much I got from him.
Well, Noah had like 3.
I had 1 left.
So 4.
I'll give him
And he goes,
4 credits.
perfect. He pulls it out and he goes, no tip? That's fine. That's fine. Okay, anything else I can do for you, sir? Even though, I don't think I can do much more, but...
I appreciate it a lot.
He goes, thanks, your appreciation will get me oxygen tomorrow. You can tell the sarcasm in his voice.
Yeah. I'm not gonna match the sarcasm in that. I'm gonna genuinely look at him and say thank you.
He goes, have a good day, sir.
You too.
And he goes, if you ever get any more money, I sure did like working on you. And he gives you a slight wink. And he throws back the welding hood off of his face. He slicks back his hair and turns the lights back on, straightens his tie up, takes his mask off one last time, and he goes, have a nice day. And he puts it back on. Takes some breath in.
Okay. I was gonna mock him and do the same thing without a mask, but I'm not. I'm just gonna like kind of like nod at him, and I'm gonna walk out the door.
Okay, fair enough. So we'll go back to Arthur. Arthur, give me another strength check to
Was
rip
this all
those
happening
boards
at
off.
the same time, by
Yeah,
the way?
yeah, this is all...
Okay, so I would not have heard that gunshot yet. Okay.
4.
A 4?
One better. I maybe got a
You're
board
not
off.
getting these tunnels.
I mean, damn, these boards are stuck.
not that
Ask
strong.
for a crowbar.
the next thing that you know, Arthur, you see that large pile of trash. We're just going to call it trash because that's what they are, right? And you're going to see a large pool of blood leaking out from the trash itself.
Okay.
Someone spilled their cranberry.
As you're pulling on the things, you see a small woman with her child, and the little girl holding a teddy bear goes, "Mommy, there's something on my shoes, Mommy." And she goes, "What is it, sweetheart?"
Fucking British killer.
And she goes, "Oh my, I don't know what that is, sweetheart." She kind of like picks her up and she goes, "We'll get you a new pair tomorrow." And she goes, Sir, do you happen to have a rag?" And she gestures towards you.
I'm gonna keep working on these boards.
She goes, "Sir, so I asked you if you had a rag."
I'm still working on the board.
Into a rag, bitch.
She grabs you by the shoulder and spins you around, and she goes, "Oh, what a defiled-looking thing. What are you?"
Who are you?
She goes, I am Miss Lewis, and I live where nobody else can, especially your kind. Again, even though I might not want it from you, do you have a rag to wipe off my daughter's shoes?"
From her name, since I'm not there and I'm pretty much a full robot, do I understand? Do I have a connection to who she is?
Oh, the next thing. Oh, this is a great introduction to this. The next thing that you hear your own mother's voice come into your head,
Oh yeah, I don't care.
and she goes, "Sweetheart, Miss Lewis is the acting officer's wife who killed us all."
So with those boards, do I have to pull them up, or can I like?
You have to pry them up towards yourself. Give me a strength check.
If I do like a good enough like throw something on it, could it break?
Give me one more strength check to pull a board off. And with that, as you jerk back, the board goes flying, and you just crack Miss Lewis's
It was a 7.
in the side of the face,
Okay.
and she falls to the ground. The little girl goes, Mommy, are you hurt? Mommy? Sir, I think you hurt her. Mommy? And she's trying to shake her awake.
Pause real quick.
Get to stepping, kid.
Disclaimer. Tyler is trying to make me kill a kid. Unpause. I'm going to shoot the kid.
Oh my god! What?
Okay.
Beautiful.
I love where this is all
So-
going. I'm having
Oh, I
a
love it so
fantastic
much.
time.
So it's just one board. How many boards are actually on the ground?
I mean, I would say since you've been working at it a while, you have a few off there.
How many more do I have to get?
I think that was the last one.
That was
You
the
got
last
it.
one?
Yeah, you got it. That was the final strike, blow, whatever you want to call it.
Last board.
The last board. Yeah.
Okay.
You did a good job. Knocked out Mrs. Lewis in the same
Yeah, in the same process.
same process. And now you have her whining child bringing attention to yourself, along with a bleeding pile of garbage next to you.
I'm probably just gonna say she's just sleeping as I like start going into the
okay.
hole. I'm not gonna fully go down, just like slowly.
She goes, "Mummy, are you sure? Are you sure, sir, that Mummy is okay? She looks like she's hurt. She has something on her face." As you look at her mom, like at her mother's face, like you see the entire like right side of her face, like her whole orbital bone is like completely shattered, and like her eye is like drooping out. And she goes, "Hold on, sir, could you watch her? I'm just gonna go get my daddy real quick. He'll know what to
check
do."
her real quick. Stay right here.
Okay, but are you sure? I think my daddy's right over there. He's almost finished with the
I
crowd.
can fix her right now.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it, sir.
Disclaimer, I'm sorry. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'll go over to the side where her mom's face is completely shattered. Be like, let's move you out of the way to make sure you don't see anything else. I'm going to move her to very close to the hole. And as she's like looking away, I'm just going to push her down it.
You hear the little child scream, and then it's followed by a thud.
Yep.
And nothing more. What are you doing with Mrs. Lewis's body?
Throw her down the hole.
Damn.
Again, it
Just
falls
makes a
to the
thud.
ground with a thud.
Yep.
The next thing you hear a voice, and she goes. Next thing you know, you hear another voice, and it's your mom, and she goes, "Sweetheart, I don't want you to lose who you are. You want this person." She goes, "I hope by the end of this, you find yourself and you come back to me, okay?" She goes, "We may not have our bodies, but we still have each other, you hear me?" And then she just goes silent. So you walk out of the store, Sally, and the next thing you know, you see Nissa run towards you, and you go, "I think somebody's watching us." As she's conveying this to you, you hear a shot ring off, and you're just across the street from Olive, and you see, like you all three see, the concrete get shattered in front of her, and little bits of stone go flying up into the air. What do you three want to do, as Arthur's over there murdering children?
I said disclaimer.
We just got to get back to Arthur.
Book it.
Okay, you all start
Zigzag.
running. At that moment, you hear a lot of the government officials on top of the rooftops go, "They're running! Open fire!" And then the next thing you hear, and like there's shots. Like as you're running, you just see, and like just concrete just flying up between your feet. I need each one of you, except for Arthur, to give me an agility check.
Kid not have to do agility checks.
Have no emotion next time.
Oh,
8.
no.
Okay. Five. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not how this works. I'm sorry. Since I'm firing the weapon, there are opposed checks.
Oh, gotcha.
There are opposed checks. So I
I
got to
was
do.
like, you son of a
I got to
bitch.
do one of each. So each one of them will get a +2 to their rolls. So we'll do it.
8.
Well, okay. Yeah. So I'll got to see if I can beat an 8. So I get a +2. So we'll have to do it again. What was your agility check?
4.
4. Okay.
4.
Mine's a 4. We gotta roll again.
All right.
I'm gonna say if we tie, it's a miss.
Okay.
We'll just do it plain and simple.
I caught the bullet.
What was yours?
5.
5. Okay. And
No.
I got a 3. So we're all misses. Thank God. They were firing with
Thank
rifles.
God we
so
have the fucking clone trooper shooting at us.
yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
You guys all, as you're running, you see that Arthur has cleared away down into the old rail tunnels, and do you guys like all jump down in? Or
I would say I'm already down there.
okay. As you head down into the rail tunnels, there's like a small set of staircase as it goes down. You see, as you get to the base, you see 2 lifeless bodies pulling up beside a small electric rail car. Maybe say, maybe like 8 feet long by maybe 6 feet wide. You can see a small panel on it where you can kind of type in where you want to go. And along with that, it just has 6 seats on it. It's pretty simple.
Real fast.
Yeah.
At the bottom of said tunnel.
Yeah.
At said dead bodies.
Yeah.
She got any credits on her? Is she a rich bougie lady?
You can give me an education check to find out. 6. You can't find any. I will say though that at right off the bottom of the staircase, if you're to take one more step, that's where the sun cuts out. So imagine the natural light is coming down into the tunnel, but it's only say a 12 by 12 foot square that's lit up in the bottom of the tunnel. So if Olive proceeds anywhere, she will instantly shut off. within the
in
tunnel.
order for me to turn something on, I have to have sunlight.
Right. I did say though that you do have a 50-foot cord inside you that you could prop up your little solar panel right outside. You could run it, to the rail car because, long story short, the rail car's dead. It's been down there for a long ass time.
Right.
You could jump it.
That's what I was asking. Can I jump something?
Yes.
Or do I have to have the sunlight on it to power it 24/7?
No, you can jump it. It's like a
Okay.
Basically, we jump
I'm gonna
it
do
and
that.
then we grab your pack. And
That's
then,
exactly what
Okay.
I'm gonna do because I'm not leaving my pack as we travel the tunnels.
yeah, exactly.
So, yep.
Okay.
I'm dead forever.
So you prop up your little panel. You have enough footage to go over. You connect yourself to it. You hear the rail car kind of like rev up. It almost kind of has like a really cool hum to it. It's like, and you see it kind of come alive. You can kind of also see like the electricity begin to like trace down the tracks itself. And you see a little screen on it that begins to kind of flicker, and it has like a small crack in it, and you hear like a small like chime voice come on. Please, what would it say? Like,
Select your destination.
yeah, please select your destination. And it's going through like the multiple areas that you can go to.
So it's done now, right? Like everything's jumped.
Yeah.
Grab your battery pack.
Good night, boys.
All right, I'm gonna
you run
scoop
over?
her up.
Okay. You
And-
throw her over your shoulder. Give me a strength check to see if you can carry her.
Before
I'm
she
a big
passes out,
bitch.
I'm gonna hand out the clothes so that we can all
Oh.
get dressed.
Okay.
and stuff.
I'm just gonna dress her
Yeah.
while she's on the car.
And you put on your raincoat.
Yeah.
Okay.
8.
Dress
8.
me with a
Yeah, you
massive
throw her over your shoulder.
dong.
You guys jump on the rail car. Just as you go to hit your destination, you see the men start to
Like crowd in.
Yeah, crowd in and proceed down into the rail station. What do you
That was
guys want to
perfect
do?
timing. Just hit the park destination and go.
Park
Whatever's
next?
close. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You hit it. The next thing you know, it like takes off with some speed. You hear it just like revving up, and you guys are launched. You hear a few people take a couple pot shots off, but at this moment, you're going so fast it doesn't even matter. As you're going throughout the tunnel, it's completely pitch black. The only thing that ever lights your way is the small broken screen and a few like small tunnel lights, every few hundred feet. I will say, as you're going through, you can see drips of water falling from the ceiling. You do have some sense of a smell, so you can kind of smell like a really musty, like almost like rotting vegetation. With a little bit of skin that you have, you can feel like a small, cool breeze washing over it. As it's going through, because the cart itself is open. And the cart begins to slow down. And as it's slowing down, you notice it's trying to it's going to round a large corner. And the next thing you see in the ceiling is a large explosion. It just erupts into fire. And all of a sudden, all this rock and rubble just comes, and it just it's like bashing up the rail car in front of you. I need you all to make me an agility check as the rail cart comes into collision with a large piece of the ceiling that has fallen onto the track. Arthur, what'd you get?
9.
9. All of your body gets launched into the air.
Mine does too.
What do you
I
roll?
rolled a 1.
I'm still over your shoulder.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I already put clothes on you, and you're
Nissa?
good. You're laying on the floor.
3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you 3 go flying out over the cart. As you notice, as you're kind of flying through the air for a split second, you notice that Arthur has actually buckled himself in.
For the mission.
For the mission.
Safety first.
Safety first, buckle up. So you guys go flying through the air, and you go you can hear pieces of yourself just tinging off the rail car. And what you can tell as you're kind of waking back up, each one of you also take 1 strength point. So you take away 1 of your strengths. So, with that being said, with a large hole now in the ceiling of the subway, you can tell that there is gasoline dripping down into the station itself. Something has blown up the gas station above you, and you can see all this gasoline pouring into
from
the
the
tunnel.
tanks.
Yo,
Yeah,
get a
in from the
bucket.
tanks.
Get a bucket.
Maybe we'll need gasoline.
Um,
Just real fast, like hole straight through,
like
or like is it like something? Because the tanks are clearly underground.
right.
Did the tanks explode into the subway station, or was it blown straight through?
So that's a good question. So it was blown straight through, and as you look, you can see that there's military men surrounding the hole that they have just created. And I was just gonna say, all of you're able to power back on for a few seconds to witness all these men standing in front of the hole. Like I said, there is a large piece of debris in front of the rail car. It might take you a few seconds to get it off if you want to continue, or you can try and fight the people that have made this hole, like on top of the gas station. It's whatever you deem
Yo, I got a
to be
motherfucking
fitting.
axe, hammer, and shovel.
Also, do you want to like split those out real quick?
Yeah,
Like who
that's-
gets what? Because like obviously Arthur has a gun. Who wants the axe? Who wants the shovel? And who wants the what the fuck's the other thing?
They're all the
hammer.
same, right?
Yeah, they're all the same.
It doesn't matter. I can.
I'll trade you the axe for the gun. Think of how much it would have helped you to get through the wood and wouldn't have delayed our mission as much. The gun has done nothing for you so far. Just hindered you.
We're not dealing with wood anymore.
Damn
You
it.
don't know that?
Damn it. All right.
You need to decide quickly.
You guys want me
On
to
what you're
explode
doing.
the hole so it kills everybody?
We're gonna have to run.
Yeah. I will be.
I will say,
sacrificed.
I will say, you can take a few moments to try and just get the piece off the rail and keep going, if you want. But you might take a few shots, and there might be a few shots coming your way.
I have my human idea, but not this idea. See, my human idea is you both try and get that off the rail. I will take some pot shots at them because I want to kill them, while she gets up close, EMPs, you guys grab her, and then we go.
The thing
then
is, we have to
I'm
get 50 feet away from
incapacitated,
her.
though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's what I said. We grab you and then go.
Yeah.
We have to get 50 feet away from her first, though.
Before she explodes.
Yeah, I know.
Before she can explode.
I know.
Or we could just get the piece off the. Like you
That
guys
is
could
true.
get the piece off.
I'm gonna
and-
start trying to get the piece
Oh.
of the rail.
Go.
I don't think anybody noticed. Like nobody probably said anything about my upgrade or anything, so they probably don't
No.
know.
I mean, they can see that you have some
You
sort
guys,
of an eye.
you guys get it off, but give me that gun. I'm gonna like do some. I'm gonna like tap my eye, and it's gonna like and like focus. And I'm like, give me the gun.
That makes sense. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna give him the gun.
It does.
Get the
That-
piece
yeah,
off the
yes,
rail
that
car.
makes
Get the
fit-
piece off
that
the
So
rail
the
makes
car.
three of us are
I'm gonna
lifting
duck
the
Piece off
behind
the rail car.
cover, and I'm gonna
Okay.
aim.
So I will say, with your new eye, that also gives you a +1 when you're shooting it. When you're shooting a
Hell
weapon.
yeah. All right.
Which
Piece
is
off the rail
through
car.
your agility. What's that?
Piece off the rail car.
All right, strength
7.
for both of you.
She did
7.
7.
Okay. 7.
I got 4.
4. Nissa.
Strength, you said?
Yeah.
8.
8. Oh my.
Me
All right.
and Krista are
All right.
lifting this
So
rail.
boom, you begin to lift a large piece of cement off the track. As you do that, me and you, we're gonna have a little bit of a tissy here. So
do
I'm
that.
gonna take a pot shot at you real quick as they
Okay.
kind of unload into the hole. So I got an 8.
Okay.
So you gotta
I have to beat it
You have to beat an 8 to miss it.
with what? My agility.
Yeah, with your agility.
And your security office.
yeah, you're also.
Security officer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You have a 5.
So you have a +5. So you have to beat an 8 with a
I just
+5.
have to get 2, or no?
you need to get a 3.
5, 6. Yeah, 3. Well, you said if it.
Ties don't count.
Yeah. Okay.
Ties are misses.
5.
So you got a 5, a 10. So yeah, you dodge out of the way. Now you're able to make a shot at me.
Okay. So
Plus
what
5.
would that be?
Plus 5.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus my eye.
Yeah, so you actually get a plus 6. to it.
6.
Yep.
So no matter what, I get
You'll
a
hit.
7 or more.
Yeah. But
And I get I got a
I got
4.
a 6.
Yeah.
I got 12.
Okay, so you hit me, so I need you to roll for damage. So you're gonna roll your d6. You have a damage cap of 4. So a 3.
3.
You dealt 3 to me. That's enough to kill me. As you go, you see the one guy who had the pistol over top the thing take a shot at you. You hit him, and he kind of does like the Wilhelm scream and falls into the hole right
yeah.
at your feet.
since you have the rifle, your ammo is now 11.
Oh yeah, that's true. So you're able to take out an officer. You two have gotten the piece off. Arthur looking sexy as hell, and you guys just
there.
want to jump back on the rail car and keep booking it.
Yeah.
Okay. You do that perfectly. Jump on. As soon as you head back into the darkness, you see Olive go night night, and you see her power down and her eyes go blank. A few moments later, as the rail car is speeding down the track, you hear just a normal, very monotone voice come. Your destination is on the left, and you see like a small door kind of open up, and you can see a small set of steps leading up into the park.
Okay. Yep. I'm gonna tell him to grab Olive. I'm gonna run up ahead,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to like peek out and see if I can see anything.
Okay. As you run up into the thing, it takes you up into like a really, really serene part of the park. It's almost like nothing has touched this, and you don't understand, like, how it's possible. Like, the trees are here, the grass is green. It's like oddly perfect. Like you see like ducks, like, because there's like a, so as you come up out of the tunnel, right, you see like you're on kind of like a small trail. There's like little park benches, there's trees, there's there's ducks flying in and landing on the pond. It's a very serene piece, but as you look, you don't see any form of like a dome or like anything that's keeping this place the way that it is.
Okay. I'm gonna yell at them to hurry up and come up.
They rush up, and again, you're met
up.
by this, and Olive wakes up, she reboots, and you're met by this very serene looking, beautiful place.
Okay.
It's very quiet. There's nobody in the park at all.
Okay.
Do I remember...
Basically what? Like, I don't know what to say. I'm like,
remember anything about the guy that we have to meet? Like,
oh yeah, I guess.
is
would
there
any of
anything
us know this guy?
specifically he used to like?
You hear another voice come back in your head, and it's
Betty.
your mother
Hey,
again.
Betty.
Hi.
And she goes, "Well, guys, you've made it. You actually did it. You got here." And she like the voice comes stronger into Arthur's head. And she goes, "You know, your dad used to love it here. He used to go fishing on that pond, and you know, we would take you out in the boat as a little kid and used to love catching the fireflies. Now, I want you to know, Johnny can be a little rough, so, and he's kind of hard to track down. I know for years it was hard for me to figure out where he went." She goes, Now, Arthur, just remember, whatever happens, I love you, and, you don't forget me, okay?
What does he look like?
Well, son, I know you were a little boy whenever this went missing, but, honey, he kind of looks like you.
Okay.
Betty takes your silence as almost like you can really hear the sorrow in her voice. She chokes up for a moment and just goes quiet.
We're looking for someone that looks like me.
Like you or current you? I'm
Older
gonna
me?
say old you.
Old me?
I'm not even gonna wait for the response. All right. As I'm like coming out of the tunnel and I'm looking around, you said I see that. Is there anything that would be obvious for like us to like suggest that we check first? Like, do we see buildings, or you said it's untouched? So
Yeah, it's completely untouched. The only thing that you can really tell is that there's like a large like forested area. There's a large pond where like people could go fishing. As you guys can all give me an education check to see if you can spot it.
Does this affect my engineering thing, or is it just nothing? Dude.
Olive got a 10. Olive, as you're kind of like looking over like this beautiful landscape, and you can kind of see these ducks landing onto the pond, you can kind of see the reflection, right, of the trees in the pond. You kind of notice that like somewhat up on the other side of the hill across the pond, there seems to be another smaller pond.
Guys, there's a small pond.
From their view, they go, "What pond? I don't see another pond."
All right,
All right.
towards small pond. Let's go.
all right, we'll start walking towards the small pond. I'm gonna double tap and hit my thermal and see if I see anything.
As you start walking up over the breast of the pond, the reflection... Oh, sorry. The reflection. What you originally saw, right? You saw this pond. It's no longer there. It was almost like a mirage or something.
Sorry, y'all. I'm still a little sleepy.
And the rest of you are like, I don't see anything. As you're just kind of standing in a grouping of trees.
I swear it. I'm not crazy.
What did you want to do, Sally?
Turn on my thermal.
As you do that, and you're looking through the trees, you can see the ducks landing on the water. You can see bits and pieces of you running because, the equipment gets hot at points. The next thing you see a small gentleman sitting in a chair.
I'll walk over to him.
As you
Like,
go to walk up to him,
cautiously.
the rest of you are looking and watching you, and they call out to like, where are you going?
He sees a small pond.
I'll just kind of look at the guy and not really listen, and I'll go, Johnny?
You kind of see him like perk up and like look around and sit back down.
He's in his
Like he didn't see me?
Yeah, he didn't see you. No, he heard you. He didn't see you.
I'm gonna say, Johnny, we were sent here to find you. We're trying to stop this.
You see him. You see him stand up for a moment.
In a good way.
And-
what was the doctor's name?
Dr. Mannheim or Dr. Morgan.
I'll say Dr. Mannheim and Dr. Morgan sent us.
They're the same person. It's Dr. Morgan Mannheim.
Morgan
Morgan is his first name.
Never mind.
Morgan.
Okay.
Morgan is
Sorry,
his first
Dr.
name.
Mannheim sent us.
He stands up for a second. You can kind of see him peering around, and all of a sudden, to the rest of you, it literally looks like a window has been opened just in the middle of the forest.
I'm gonna crawl through the window.
And imagine you're just walking through the forest, and a window is opened, and you're now seeing into a man's house.
I'm gonna crawl through the window.
Oh, but it looks like a green screen almost.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. So what it is Johnny's house. He is created inside of the Central Park. Has like a huge reflective barrier around the whole thing. So whatever angle you're looking at it, it just reflects the imagery around it.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's basically hidden in plain sight.
That's one way to dodge child support.
And he goes, "Oh, it's not the best of Mannheim's work, but I guess come on in here." And you see, again, it's like a door just opens in the middle of a massive forest, and he goes, "Come on in quickly. I can't have the door open for long."
Okay. We'll hurry up and...
You guys all rush in, and it's almost like a Mod Podge between like a 1920s log cabin and like a futuristic apartment. And he goes, "Take a seat. take a seat. What's Mannheim up to this time?
Bringing down the government.
Pretty much. What she said.
And he goes, what'd he send you for?
We're supposed to get a bug from you. I think you are probably aware of what we're talking about.
He goes, I haven't worked on that in a long time. Well, not since me and Betty worked on it.
I'll probably look pretty alarmed at that and be like, did you finish it?
It's about as finished as it'll get today. I'll tell you that. But he goes, oh, come here, I'll show you. And he goes over and he has like a glass dome, and it's covered with a small piece of like cloth.
Handkerchief or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And he pulls it off, and underneath this glass dome is an actual bug. It looks like a small rhino beetle. It's metallic. It's made out of like some sort of like titanium, and it's mechanical itself. And he goes, Betty always liked bugs. I had to take a hankering to that.
I didn't even think about Big Betty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Betty the
Egyptian
beetle,
one.
right?
Too
Shout
bad
out.
it didn't look like
right?
a scarab.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of, right? Like I was doing a little bit of a thing there. And then she goes, she always liked the color purple too. So, but yeah, as far as I can tell, and he taps on the glass, it starts to fly around and calms down for a second and lands on the glass and crawls back down to the floor. And he goes, well, I mean, if you think that you can take her, he's like, you got to get in there first, though. And as I can tell, and he's kind of looking on his monitor, you can see like all these dots moving in. And the next thing you guys hear, like your whole world has just been rocked. You hear missiles, and they're hitting. And as you kind of like peer out one of his windows, you can see that, you can see these massive rockets just blasting into the side of the park. And actually, the park is covered in an invisible dome. And that's what's keeping the poisons out and keeping it filtered and the oxygen levels all correct. But the park itself is basically a place where anybody can go to kind of like take their mask off and enjoy. But the government, after all this, kind of just shut it all down.
Yeah.
They were losing too much money, that sort of thing. So the park itself has been in pristine condition for all these years. But the thing is they didn't want anybody in. So it's kind of hard to get in. So, like, again, you kind of see that the park is now under siege. These large missiles are flying through the air, bashing into the side of things. You start to see, like, cracks, like fissure cracks going through the sky. And he goes, if I was up to me, I'd hurry up a little bit. He goes, you guys got to make a run pretty soon. And he goes, just out of curiosity, and he kind of takes a piece of paper and he writes down a number. And he goes, you give this to Betty when you see her. Okay? He just kind of throws it to you.
I'll take it. And just from, I'm going to say, sure thing. But I feel like my face is going to look really sad. So he might understand.
Yeah, fair enough. Let me do a charisma check, see if I can tell. Yeah. He's going to look at you and he goes, she didn't make it, did she?
I'll let her know whenever I see her. How do we get out of here?
He goes, you do that, and you tell my boy it wasn't my fault, okay? And the next thing you know, he goes over to like this really old-timey picture that he keeps on his desk, and he picks it up, and it's of him and Betty and Arthur in a rowboat on that pond, and they're all fishing, and they look real happy. It's like a nice summer's evening, and he goes, I just want him to know we all had a job we had to do. And he props it back up. You see kind of a tear roll down his eye for a second. And he goes, take it. Bet he'd want you to take it. And he takes the glass dome off, and the bug flies up, and it lands on Arthur's shoulder.
Fuck.
I knew it.
What do you guys want to do?
I want to say, as my character, I'd sit there and I would look at him like in disbelief, and then look at Arthur like.
Thank you, John. We'll head on out.
He goes, anytime. I didn't catch your name, son. What is it?
Arthur?
Ha! I used to have a boy named Arthur. He goes, well, hey, you take good care of my bug. You hear?
No problem.
I have a question, real quick. This is just a side note.
Yeah.
Is there anything
That
he would say in response
That would like let him know
that they both had known, like something that they would have said, that even though he's emotionless, he would still say it in response to his dad without even thinking about it, because he understands that that's his dad, correct? Like he should, after seeing the picture and stuff.
I would say, like, after seeing the picture, I'm gonna say for a split second, do me a charisma check.
I gotta get a 6. I got a 2.
As Johnny looks you in the eyes, you feel, for some reason, this emotional break in your chest. And for the first time, after seeing and looking at that picture, and you can look it in his eyes, you hear your mother's voice back in your head. And she goes, you know, son, your daddy always had a way with words. She goes, you tell him I still love him, okay? No hard feelings. The next thing you know, all emotions have been let loose.
We got him back, boys and girls!
Yeah, while he's sobbing on his hands and knees, throwing up.
So am I actually back to...
Yeah.
You better fucking hug him.
The next thing you know, you get all these memories flashing back. You get the memories of like your dad being up on your dad's shoulders, you know, and he's throwing you up in like the summer sun, and he's telling you, "I love you, boy," you know, and he's like you have like these images of you guys playing in the backyard, and your mom making sweet tea and bringing out pies, and you know, you guys walking through this park. You know, and like in this park that you guys love so much, and your dad's loading you up in the boat, you know, and he's putting on your little life vest, and he goes, "We're gonna catch a big one today, you know," and your mom's going, and she goes, "You know, even if you don't, that's okay, because you know what I got waiting for you at home? That blueberry cobbler you love so much." And you guys going out, and like all these memories just come flooding back, and it's all at once. And you hear Johnny go. He goes, "I'd like to shake your hand, sir, before you leave." And he goes, "I just want you to know that, well, Daddy's proud of you." And he sticks his hand out.
I'll say, "I miss her blueberry cobbler too," and then I'm going for a hug.
Damn.
You just see Johnny's, like, he just starts tearing up. He pats you on the back, and he goes, "Go get him, son."
I'll say what I said to my mom. I want to save this world.
And he goes, "We all do. And we're here for you."
Let's go!
You go running outside, and the next thing you know, you literally see the actual curtain fall on this park. It's like glass begins to shatter from the sky, and it's falling 20 feet to the ground and smashing into pieces. There's literally large pieces of screen getting indented into the ground. You see missiles and rockets and firefight just flying through. I need you all to give me agility checks as these large pieces of glass and bullets and other things are flying into this sanctuary.
So, real quick, he never did answer my question before that all happened.
Okay.
I was like, where do we go? Like, I was asking him, like, if he had a way out or anything. I don't know if I didn't get a chance to ask it before that happened, or...
What was the question?
I don't remember. Like, if he had a way for us to get out without having to deal with this.
Nope.
Like an escape route.
Nope.
Okay.
Sure
Okay.
doesn't.
You said agility?
Yep. You take another point of damage as a large piece of screen comes down and crashes over top of your head. So it's your strength. So you now have a -2 in strength.
Out of everyone, it's kind of kind of best for him to take the damage. 'Cause
I'm
they're on
down
1.
to
I'm
one.
on 2. Like, we're on 2, they're on 1.
And as it just comes rolling through, the next thing you know, you see that gas begin to like leach into this beautiful sanctuary. It just begins to just make the trees droop, the grass yellow, the ducks begin to instantly be suffocated and drowned within the pond itself. The next thing you know, you see large tanks begin to roll up and over the grounds, and basically between you and the military now is just this serene pond that once meant everything to the world. And you hear over the loudspeaker, and with the big thing, you hear Mrs. Lewis's husband come over a loudspeaker, and she goes, and he goes, "Well, you didn't think you'd get this far, did you?" And he goes, "Well, you ain't getting any farther." And he goes, "Light 'em up, boys." And he
How
goes,
far are they?
It's
They have
literally-
cannons.
It's literally just the distance of the pond,
But yeah, like how far is that?
like the distance of my dad's pond. So
Like, is it
couple
like
hundred
far?
feet.
Is it
You
like
say
50
like 50
feet?
feet would
Would be
Yeah,
suffice?
yeah, sure.
Chuck me.
splash.
Duh.
Oh
next to
shit!
her.
Yeah. Okay.
Chuck me.
Run, bitch.
I'm gonna grab
this
a
is
hold
my
of
sacrifice.
Nissa.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a hold of Nissa.
It's also really fitting that Nissa's ending up in water.
Yeah.
Right? Nissa, water, right?
Wait, what?
Nissa.
Fuck you. Nissa is...
Okay, like literally from Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Nissa.
Are you thinking of Thassa, or are you thinking?
Yeah, but
of
like there's like Thassa, Nissa. Oh, Nissa's the. other
Nissa's
one.
the.
Yeah.
She's the
Damn. Never mind.
forest.
Damn. We were close.
Shit.
So I'm gonna grab a hold of her
Yeah.
and just be like,
no, cut that one out just so I don't look stupid.
Yeah,
just
I
be
know,
like,
we all
I'll
look
come
dumb.
back for you, and I'm just going to literally as hard as I can. Like I assume you're gonna be
Across the
jumping at the
pond.
same time. I'm gonna try to throw her as far
Yeah,
into
okay.
the pond as we can.
So as you chuck her, maybe somebody else should do it. I'm gonna have him make you stay a strength check.
aren't we
We're
all
both
in-
two.
we're all
Three
in
of us
equal
together.
strength?
We're both
all right,
two.
all right, everybody, add up,
we're
add up them up.
we're
Roll, and we're adding them all
Hey,
up.
it's gonna be like a fucking cheerleading move. Like they're gonna link their hands together. I'm gonna
Okay,
jump
there
and
we
they're
go.
just gonna
You're gonna
fucking launch
whoosh.
me.
Okay,
6.
4. Okay, so we got a 10, and then what is that?
It's a 5
Oh,
total.
but it's your string. You got a minus
2 and 2.
Oh shit, dog! All right,
I got
hell
5.
yeah!
It still sucks.
15, dude. You chuck Nissa like it's like she's like a rocket, and she flies so high up in the air, and then just does a beautiful swan dive into the pond.
Yep.
As she does that,
Would they even shoot at us right now, or would they be like, "What the fuck are
Yeah,
they
they're
doing?"
like-
yeah, no, nothing's happening.
Okay.
yeah, nothing's happening.
Okay, we
They're
just
just like-
light them up, and that's the last thing. So I'm like, "Are we doing this in the middle of gunfire?"
Basically, like as
yeah, so-
you're like chucking her, like he says, light him up and gives the order, but like everybody's just kind of like in awe of like
And I'm
what
yelling
the hell's
run as I'm in the air. Like just
and
book
like
it.
yeah, and like as like people like as it's like coming back down, right, and you're coming back down. I need you three to give me agility checks to like run over the bush. Okay?
Agility check.
oh,
So, Nissa, as you go to plunge into the water, you feel like this horrific shock to your body. And you hear this, you like literally, it's like you hear the boop as she hits the water. And all of a sudden, the water just becomes an electric blue color. It's basically like you can see an atom bomb just erupting from the sea itself. And all of a sudden, the water goes and shoots up into like a big mushroom-style cloud. And you just see an array of electricity. It's like just like this beautiful pearl blue. It's almost like it's like the best spectacular scene you've ever seen in your life.
So
But
like ball lightning.
yeah, exactly. But it's
Yeah,
like,
that's so
but it's so beautifully dangerous in the same sense. And all of a sudden, you just hear men just screaming. What did you all roll?
9.
5.
I'm one of the men screaming. I can't roll anything but a 1.
Okay, so Sally, you take 1 damage.
To my strength.
Yep, to your strength. Remember, if you hit 0, you're knocked out. And then 4. That's a damage count. You take 4.
Noah's out.
And Arthur,
No, I'm fully dead.
Can I plug myself in? Can I give him my power?
I'll let you try. Give me an education check.
As a navigation officer, I got a 6.
So, Arthur lays there completely lifeless. You guys know what you have to do is to run. Because you see the military itself gathering its things back up. The people that have survived, they're pulling their men back together.
Will I have time to grab her real quick?
She is floating in the water.
I just assumed there was no more water left in this pond.
Oh no, there's still water. Like it just erupted and then, like splashes back down. In a moment, like as the men are regaining themselves, you see Johnny come running out and he goes, "Get out of here! I'll take care of him. Don't worry. Go, go, go!"
We're going. Let's run.
You see Johnny, and Johnny runs down, and he's trying to pull Arthur's character up back to his house, and he has like a pistol in his hand. He's just taking pot shots,
Okay.
firing.
Am I able to I'm gonna yell at him, the bug.
He goes, "You already got it!" And as you look, it's like it's crawling up over the top of your shoulder.
Oh, okay. Like I thought he had it. Yeah, I just. All right, now
So-
I'm running.
So
Like a
at this
ladybug.
moment, okay, in losing Arthur and in watching Nissa's character basically sacrifice
bitch.
herself to the greater good, I need you two to give me pressure checks. Remember, you have to get a 10.
There's my fucking 6.
So, okay. What'd you get? All right. So, with ones, you're still good. You're kind of seasoned by war, so these things don't affect you as much as you were before. You see Johnny. He kind of has his arms up underneath of Arthur, and he's dragging him up towards his house, pistol out, taking pot shots as he can, and he goes, "Go, go!" And like you're trying to, as you're running, as you're booking it out of the park, you just see like one right after another. You see shots just like landing into Johnny's shoulders, and he's just taking another shots off, and the next thing, boom, one right in the center of his head, and he just falls like limp over top of Arthur's body. And just out of earshot, you can hear Johnny say, "Well, son, we'll all be together again pretty soon." And he goes, "I want you to know I always loved your mama, and I always loved you too." And he just... And as you guys go running out of the park, you see some of the people are like trying to swim across the pond. And in front of you, as you get out of range, again the ground becomes rocky and wasteland. There's like it's just nothing but array of desert and like dying trees. But you come across the government's dome. It's beautiful and large, and as you kind of peer inside of it, you can see all these luscious trees, very much like the park. But except this time it's much more lively. You see people walking down the streets. You see cars running through them.
Yeah.
You see all these beautiful, wonderful things. You see government officials just, making laps around on the inside. And in front of you is a door, and it has a keypad to it. What would you guys like to do?
How many digits is it?
You don't know. It's just it's like a 9-digit.
Oh.
It's like a 9-digit keypad, and you have to type in something.
Can I plug myself in and short circuit it? Overload it with electricity?
Can I attempt to put in a number?
Yeah, you can if you want.
Can I put the beetle on it?
Hold on.
You can put the beetle on it if you want.
Does the beetle do anything?
It just crawls around on it.
Hang
Okay.
on. I was paying
Take the
attention.
beetle back.
I was paying attention this time. Hang on. I'm gonna try 2514.
No?
Really?
Wait.
So in order. What did you roll? at the beginning?
What?
That was to see what we got fucked up with. That was to see what disabilities we all had.
I thought he would also
mattered.
double it. I thought he would also double using that.
The
I
note,
will say that
the
it
note,
seems like a 4-digit number.
the note. Cody, the note. Cody, the note. Johnny gave you a note.
I forgot he gave me a note. Yeah. I definitely forgot he gave me a note. I had it in my pocket. 4237.
You type it in, doors open, and you feel a rush of air come towards you. And you walk in, and it is like the most beautiful, it's almost like heaven. It's completely serene and perfect in every way possible.
What kind of door is it? Is it like a heavy mechanical
Yes,
door?
it's like
or-
a heavy mechanical door. It opens for a split second,
Well,
just to allow you guys to walk in.
so as I'm walking in, who'd you give what to, like for weapons?
I have the shovel. That's the only thing.
I
So you
didn't
can
take
have the axe
anything.
or the hammer.
You
Or
didn't
I could
take
just
anything?
have
I didn't
all
take
of them.
anything.
I also have a military bag that I was going to put, my battery in, but then someone didn't get me a battery, so.
Well, I was trying to see.
I thought you were
So
at the hardware store and you were going to get a battery at the hardware store.
I told him the electronics store. I was like, see what kind of battery you can get me.
Well, you could have gone at the hardware store. I even made the effort of saying,
Do you need
hey, I
anything
like your
else?
rig. Do you need anything else? Okay, that's fine.
You probably had a hammer. I didn't.
well, I was gonna say I didn't know if you guys took the weapons or not. I took that gun from you.
Yeah, but I had the gun before she dispersed everything.
It's gonna be up to you
I'll say
whether she actually dispersed everything or not.
I'm going to say you got an axe.
Got an axe.
I have the shovel,
And Holly has the shovel.
so Krista would have the hammer.
And Krista would have the hammer.
I didn't
What's the
take
axe?
anything though.
I'm going to say you took a hammer.
Is
For fun.
Okay.
You're just floating in the
Alright,
water.
So
with
the
a hammer.
axe,
Yeah.
It's weighing
It's
me
like
down.
it's just like a splitting axe.
like a wooden handle.
Yeah.
I can't jam that in the door to keep it open. Yeah.
As the door shuts behind you, you two hear a voice inside your head. And it's Betty. And she goes, "Look at my children doing things." She goes, "You made it. And all you have to do is set me free." And you see
Oh.
the little beetle crawling on your shirt.
So I'll
and
scoop it
and
then
buzzing.
I'll just...
And she goes,
Mama Betty.
"I'm coming, Arthur. I told you I would." Next thing you know, you see little Betty baby beetle floating off into that beautiful sunset. Yeah, right?
Bro,
Shit,
after today, I was like,
on brand.
The next thing you know, you kind of just see you almost see like this beetle just kind of disappear off into the sunset. And the next thing you know, you just hear alarms going off. The whole sky turns red and just starts beep, beep. People are screaming. People are wrecking their cars into each other. From what was once a sanctuary is now a living hell. You see the gas rolling in from every aspect and filling the sky. As you stand there, now being nothing but, wastelandic robots, you watch all your human counterparts fall dead at your feet.
Well,
And with that, we allow nature to take its place once more.
What?
so Arthur's dead.
yeah.
Arthur's dead.
Johnny's
I would
dead.
like to
Betty's
say,
Betty's
The
Betty's dead.
Samek family is dead.
I'm guessing we bury them very nicely. Mm-hmm. Somewhere nice. And
I will say you will find Nissa floating in a pond.
she's good.
You could dry her out. She's not dead completely.
Oh no, you're still out cold.
I would say that you'd have to drag her back up on shore. And
On the family gravesite, I would like to place a picture.
That's nice. I'm gonna make sure when we have the grave done that there's little pictures of beetles. in the gravestones.
Are we the good people?
Yeah. We're always gonna be the good people.